Saban, you open up the question.
Yes, a great game by Virginia. I thought their guys showed a great deal of poise and really followed the plan well. They shot the ball well today, obviously, which was a big difference in the game. Our fans were great. It was a great atmosphere. This is the type of college basketball game that, guys want to play in. And I thought our guys showed good fight for most of the second half. Obviously, they went on a run after we cut it to 4, and that was really what allowed them to break the game open and basically put the game to bed.
Coach, how did you guys adjust to the half on defense when they're kind of scoring at will?
There's a lot of adjustments. I mean, our transition defense was not very good in the first half. Sometimes what happens in really big games, sometimes players get so excited that they forget to do the little things, the things that they've done every day. So like our transition defense wasn't where we needed to be. Our rotations a couple times on the press were out of sync. So we talked about those things. And then it just came down to defending them a little bit better. On the ball, need to guard better. I thought, again, for part of the second half, when we came back, our defense was good. But, to be honest, just not good enough for the whole game. If they can shoot 68% from the field. We did a good job turning them over, but they shot too high of a percentage.
Shaka, what were they able to do during that 15-0 run that they hadn't been able to do before that?
Well, they, I think, you want your guys to battle and fight, and I think our guys had been doing that. But honestly, we probably were affected somewhat by a combination of, we got the ball with a 4-point deficit going the other way. They call it carry. And then on the very next possession, our guys really played good defense for almost the entire clock. And London Parentis made a very high degree of difficulty shot. Teams are not going to make enough of those to beat you, but I think just a combination of those things that maybe took some of the wind out of our sails. And then they got great shots from there. Nolte hit a 3, wide open 3. They got a drive from Brogdon, and we weren't as good on defense the next 2-3 minutes.
Shaka, they can throw a lot of different lineups at you. I think you had Mobley playing 5 for a little while. How difficult is that to defend when they can go big, they can go small?
They can, but if you look at the stat sheet, they didn't play their bench nearly as much as they normally do. Their main older guys won the game for them. Nolte is a really good changeup because when he comes in, in their motion offense, he's screening, but at the same time, you always have to be aware of him as a shooter. And he came into the game shooting a very low percentage. We told our guys that, understand that's just that's a statistical anomaly because he's the guy who can really shoot.
Can you talk about Justin Anderson for a second?
Yeah, I think he, number one, was the best player in the game. I told our guys coming in with the scouting report, he's as good as anyone at his position in the country. I just, so impressed by the progress that he's made because you're talking about a guy that when he was in like 8th and 9th grade, I saw him when I was an assistant coach, and I said, wow, this guy's going to be terrific. And then, he had a good high school career, but to be honest, not as good as I thought when I saw him when he was a young kid. Still really good. He came to Virginia. He was a high-energy guy early, a defensive guy, just a motor guy. But he didn't have anywhere near the poise or the skill that he's, developed now. And, he's just a complete player. I think the guy's going to play in the NBA someday. because between the combination of his size and skill and athleticism, it's impressive.
You mentioned the poise UVA had. Do you hope your team takes this and kind of looks at that and says, this is what, it seems like the teams weren't that far apart, it's just down the stretch.
Yeah, they had a lot of answers. UVA had a lot of answers, and I mean that in a good way, as a compliment to them. Sometimes people have more answers than questions, and that's not a good thing. But they really responded well, and we knew that that's the type of team they were. I think Brogdon really leads the way with that for them. He's a guy, as you watch him, and we tried to recruit him unsuccessfully, obviously, but he's never too high and never too low. When he makes a big play, you don't see him going crazy and doing all kinds of stuff with the crowd. When plays don't go his way or don't go his team's way, he just hangs in there, sticks to the process. He's very, very mature. So I think with him leading the way, again, they had a lot of answers today.
Shaka, you mentioned the shot that Ferrante's made. It's not just that. He seemed to be able to break their defense down to half court. He seemed to be calm with the ball. How important, how much of a factor is he in the whole thing?
Yeah, he did. He's come a long way since we played. When we played them last year, it was his second game of his career, and he's made major growth. And I think Tony and his staff deserve a lot of credit because whether it's Justin Anderson, Anthony Gill, Parentes, these guys have gotten better. And obviously the players have worked at it, but the staff has facilitated that growth. But yeah, Parentes, he really broke us down, on the dribble. We told our guys he's a big kind of stop and start guy. He goes from slow to fast. But we did not do a good job of honoring that scouting report, and he got in the lane a great deal.
With all the build-up and the excitement, the big crowd and everything, what do you tell your guys about moving forward and not dwelling on this?
Well, it's okay to dwell on it for a time, but then you got to move on. You shouldn't feel good about any time you lose a game or any time a team comes in and beats you. I think obviously there's a lesson as well for us in that it's been a while since a team has come to the Siegel Center and beat us, so we need to understand, hey, it doesn't just naturally happen when we take the floor there. We have to do the things that go into winning the game. To be honest with you, we don't play for a week, so our focus right now over the next couple of days is on our guys finishing strong in exams, which start on Monday, and then as a team on getting better.
Shaka, you're stopping them. You had some good steals down in their end.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed like every time they broke your press, they were getting a fast break point. There were a lot of fast break points in this game. You sort of question yourself about at any point that I don't know if this defense is going to work today against these guys.
No, I think you should watch the tape because I don't think that's what happened. I think our press was somewhat effective. We turned them over 16 times. But to be honest with you, it was our inability to guard them in the half court is what happened. Now, we did have some transition defense breakdowns. Certainly, there were some two-on-ones at the back of the press. But, there's a give and take there. We've got to get better at it. It's never, if you're going to play that style, it's never going to be something where you only get the benefits of it and you don't have any risk. But I think if we had just played half-court defense, I guess that's what you're asking, they were really able to attack us in the half court.